Hi YouTube. Recently the Perth Mint declared their 2013 mintage numbers, and I'd like to have a quick discussion about that. Before we get started though, Chris Silver, a member of our YouTube silver community, wanted me to get the word out that he actually created a silver and gold forum called the Silver Forum. And that's some place to discuss basically silver and gold bullion, bars, rounds, coins, numismatics, collectibles, and anything else precious metal related. Yes, I'm reading from his from his header. And this is based out of the UK. And what's great about this is, if you're a silver and gold buyer in the UK, there's a lot of unique challenges. I get questions all the time from people from the UK that I have trouble answering because honestly, I'm not as familiar with the issues that you guys face over there. So it's good to have a UK-based silver forum. I will certainly be signing up. And he also wanted me to emphasize that this is for basically anybody. Yes, it's based out of the UK, but I mean, come on, we can all go over there and discuss releases and everything else. So if you get a moment, swing by and say hi to Chris and sign up for the Silver Forum. Another thing that I found kicking around here that I'll link in the description box is for anybody that's new to slab coins. They have a really good breakdown on all of the different grades and what they mean and what you should be looking for. It's basically a 101 guide. So if you're new to it, this may actually be helpful to you to go through and read. And like I said, I'll link that. So let's see. The Perth Mint declared their bullion mintages for 2013. This is a really important data point to me. And I like to keep up on this, and once a year they go through and they update everything. And I kind of want to walk you through what I look for and why I buy what I buy, and understand this is just my thought process here. But what we're going to start out with here is the Lunar Series 2, okay? And let's see. It's kind of hard to get everything on the screen. I'm going to link it on here. But basically, we know that the Year of the Snake sold out the 1 ounce. That sold out early. So there's a 300,000 mintage there. And the half ounce silver coin ended up at 160,000. Okay, but what surprised me was how low the 2 ounce mintage turned out to be, 56,000. And I'm actually pretty happy about that. It really validated my decision to buy those when I did. The 5 ounce coin ended up at 20,552, and the 10 ounce ended up at 28,213. Now, surprisingly, the kilo was actually higher, but maybe it wasn't as surprising because for a time it was literally some of the cheapest bullion you could get. It was the cheapest premium bullion, certainly, but the mintage number there ended up being 30,966. And I remember they're having sale after sale last year. And I think at times it was only $1.89 over spot, which for something as beautiful as a kilo coin and the size and everything else, that was a pretty cheap price, especially with the dip in silver. Now, I do realize that, yes, they do go through, and every now and then, I can only assume it's during dead periods for the Perth Mint, they'll go through and they'll up those numbers a little bit. They do have it in their bylaws that they can produce everything except for the 1 ounce coin, right? That's a set mintage, and everything else is fair game to go back. Now, what I've never seen them do is I've never seen them go back and redo the 2 ounce, the 5 ounce, the 10 ounce, okay? But I have seen them go back and redo some of the kilo issues. For example, I saw some Year of the Mouse coins that surfaced last year, and it wasn't a huge amount, but if you're looking for a kilo coin to be a numismatic play, it really isn't. It's a very cheap way to get a beautiful piece, but you can't count on the fact that the premium is going to go up and they're never going to make any new ones, because they simply do. So I have a chart that I want to show you guys after too that really illustrates this. It's a really strong visual. So let's see. So basically, to net it out, what I see from these numbers is that I look for the right size coin, and that's why the 2 ounce really appeals to me. The mintage number is high enough that anybody that wants to collect it can, but it's not next to the 300,000. I mean, it's a tiny mintage at 56,000. So I just feel like it's really good value. Yes, the 5 ounce is even lower, although the 10 ounce is higher than the 5 ounce. I just feel like the 2 ounce is a better collectible size, if that makes sense. So let's see, what else do we have here? All right, so we have the gold. Okay, so that's 2010. All right, so looking at the snake numbers here, the 1/20th ounce ended up being 15,598. The 10th ounce, which is what I basically is a set that I'm trying to put together, ended up at 23,700. The quarter ounce was at 16,159. The half ounce was at 14,681, and the 1 ounce sold out. Now the 1 ounce basically sells out every year. Same with the silver coin. That mintage is 30,000. Now, in all honesty, it's tough for me to collect the 1 ounce size because it's simply too pricey. So basically, the way that I approach the gold series is, from a collectability standpoint, what is open to as many people as possible. I feel like the 1/20th ounce is just simply too expensive. There's too large of a premium. It's actually, when they sell them initially, the price is close enough to the 10th ounce that you might as well just spring for the 10th ounce. And that's why I settled on collecting the 10th ounce. It's just available to more people, and you know, they're tiny. They're the size of a dime, but I really like that series. Some people may see the quarter ounce in the same vein, or even the half ounce, and that's perfectly fine. And those mintages are even smaller. Now, when you look at the horse, they have the starting numbers for the horse, and it's off to a pretty strong start. The 10th ounce is already at 14,788. I think this really speaks to the popularity of this year's horse design. And I honestly believe that in years to come, people are going to be looking at this design as something that they want to pick up. It's a great design. The half ounce and the quarter ounce are off to a strong start too, with 9,200 and 8,200 respectively. And the 1/20th ounce is 10,375. So it looks like already the horse gold is going to blow away the snake gold. Now you can take it one step further, and you can look at the snake relative to the dragon the year before. And let's see, the 20th ounce was at 23,322 for the dragon. Now this, and I'll show you this in a moment. Really, it's tough. The dragon to snake comparison is tough because the dragon is so popular. I mean, it literally is the most popular lunar animal. It's very important. It's very important in Chinese culture, and this is something that basically everybody buys. You can see the 10th ounce was 33,000, and the quarter ounce was 18,000, and the half ounce was 19,000. So the dragon numbers are huge, and the snake is a tough comp. It seems to be the hidden gem in between the dragon and horse. All right, so moving on, let's look at the koalas. So I was kind of surprised here that the 1 ounce 2013 koala was $477, and that was bumped up from $388 for the 2012 design. I think that the 2013 design was better received. Let's see, the 2012 half ounce was $118. The 2013 half ounce was actually a lot smaller, $84,000. I'm not sure what to read into that, with the 1 ounce size being so much larger from a mintage perspective and the half ounce being so much smaller. 10 ounce, $15,000 versus 7. That's pretty close. And if you look at the Larry koala as coined by Greg Williams, you know, it's funny. That's kind of taken off because I hear it referenced as the Larry koala all over the place, and we have Greg to thank for that. But it's off to a pretty strong start, and I was really surprised. It's already at $109,000 for the 1 ounce and $26,000 for the half ounce, and really, I'm not a big fan of the design, and I'm surprised that they've sold as many as they have. And let's see, the last is the Kookaburra, which is not a surprise that the 2013 sold out. We knew that. They've been selling out for years. And as far as the 2014 now, there were reports that they were sold out. I'm not sure if that's just dealers committing to the rest of the series, but it shows that year-to-date sales is 388 as opposed to the 500,000. So anyway, this is a very important data point to me, but I wanted to show you something that I really liked. You know I like strong visuals, and I found this over on Silver Stackers. This is the Australian forum, and forum member R. Baggio, hope I pronounced that right, created this chart, and this is great. So this is a visual of, and I'll link this in the description box too. And what I'd like to ask him to do, I'm actually thinking about signing up with Silver Stackers just to ask him this question, if he could do it with the gold as well. Or if anybody is a member of Silver Stackers, if they could actually ask him to do that. But what he did here is he put it in bar chart form. This is Lunar Series 1. And you can see that back then, really the mintages were all over the place. They didn't really sell out, okay? And what really pops out to me is look at the Dragon. The Dragon half ounce was much bigger than any other. The 1 ounce dwarfed everything else. Okay, and then if you go down and look at the 2 ounce, you see that spike there. They didn't make a 5 ounce apparently. The 10 ounce was larger, and the kilo was larger. So it really speaks to the popularity of the Dragon. That was part of the reason why during sales last year, I was so quick to jump on some of those 1 ounce Dragon coins. I just think they do really, really well. And then when you look at Series 2, so this is the chart that I really like here. So right here, since Series 2 kicked in, every year is sold out. And so you see the 300,000 mintage here. Okay, now here you see this ridiculous spike here. This was the Dragon. This was the Dragon half ounce. Okay, and it looked like it was about, let's call it 380,000. Okay, and you see that dwarfed everything else. And so then you look at the 2 ounce, look at the 2 ounce mintages relative to the 1 ounce. You know, when you put it in this type of form, now this is the snake that he has not updated yet. This would be about here, 56,000. Okay? When you look at the 2 ounce mintages relative to the 1 ounce, it's a pretty good value, especially when you consider that it sells for a much smaller premium right out of the gates. So then the question you may ask yourself is, well, how does it perform later on? And all you have to do is go to eBay and start looking at 2 ounce Lunar sales to see that the premiums do creep up on these things, and some of them do very well. So that's one of the reasons that, you know, I am a fan of buying the 2 ounce when I'm priced out of the 1 ounce, which essentially I was this year. The snake was different last year. The snake was sold at a reasonable premium to spot, and that's why I bought the snakes when I did. The horses were not, and that's why I've been focusing on the 2 ounce. I just think it's a better value. And you can see that the 5 ounce and the 10 ounce are even smaller here relative to even the 2 ounce. So the question you have to ask yourself, and these sell at a smaller premium as well, is you know, what will do better going into the future, a 5 ounce coin or a 2 ounce coin, a 10 ounce coin or a 2 ounce coin, okay? So anyway, that's my breakdown. That's kind of my thought process here. And I wanted to thank R. Baggio. He'll probably never see this video, but for putting this together, because I love a good, strong visual chart. I am a big believer in a picture's worth 1,000 words. And one last point, and I know we're running long here. So one of the things that I love about when the new Zombux designs are released is people's reaction to them. And it certainly creates good video topic ideas. Because people, I mean, look, I have a very, you know, it's a new silver design and no big deal. If people like it, they'll buy it. If they don't, they won't. I don't really have a strong reaction to all this stuff either way. So when people do have a strong reaction, I enjoy that because it gives me kind of a counterpoint to make to their points if I disagree with them, or if I agree with them, I can make a topic on that as well. It's not something that I take serious, certainly. I don't mind people, you know, blasting off on my channel because they feel strongly about something. That's the whole point of what I'm trying to do, is create discussion. So I hope to have a couple of videos tomorrow on the ethics of the secondary market, and the variety is the spice of life. We'll talk about all these products that mints are cranking out and whether or not it's a good thing long term. So, all right, guys, so hopefully I'll talk to you tomorrow.